All right, guys, we are here today. Good morning, guys. Tesla actually gapping up a little bit today after having a red day on Friday. Q is green again. Let's get everything up and running here. Last week, the SPY broke lifetime highs. We'll see if the trend continues this week. What's up, Mars, S&B, Ricky? It's bad. D4, Pawn. What's up, team? We're gonna do a poll here. Does the SPY break highs during market hours today? Yes or no? Vote on that poll. Alright, and something's moving in pre-market this morning. I think Boeing is bouncing back a little bit. Boeing's at 210s. Hey, what's up, Beach? Alright, guys, so let me get some music playing here. There we go. Yeah, let me know how you like my new thumbnails. I got a new thumbnail, dude. Yeah, we got a new thumbnail guy. I mean, I feel like, yeah, the words are big enough, I guess. Amazon breaking highs right now. PayPal ripping up too. I'm still at PayPal as well. My entry price on PayPal is 51.40s. So, honestly, a pretty good entry. I'm drinking King Cake coffee this morning. It's actually pretty good. You know. ARM. Why is ARM gapping up so much today? Oh, looks like me holding on to ARM was the right move. Boeing still bouncing back some here too. Nvidia at 600? Is it really? Wow, dude! Look at Nvidia's. Look at this 15-minute chart on Nvidia. It's genuinely impressive. Like, look at this. Like, look at a 15-day chart. Like, look at Nvidia over the last like. Wow, man, that thing ran for sure. That's crazy. Look at the Q pushing up, but man, Nvidia. Wow. Nvidia has just ran, dude. Again, Boeing started to bounce back. Still red on the day, but Amazon dragging the market up right now for sure. Amazon up to 157s right now, 157. So Amazon's pushing. All right, team. Let me upload some of these. Like, these pictures that I build for thumbnails are so funny, dude. Like, look at some of these pictures. Like, some of these pictures are so funny, man. I gotta, like, sit here and point at the sky. Alright, look at Q bouncing up. Look at Nvidia here, team. Nvidia, okay, so listen, the lifetime highs for Nvidia are right around us here. Like 595 are the actual market hour lifetime highs, which means that like once the market opens, like maybe we're gonna get, you know, maybe we're gonna get lifetime highs during market hours, but they only count during market hours, so after 9:30 is when they start to really count. Let me know if there's any other big news today. I'm going to be looking at some of this news to see what we got, you know. I'm gonna have to cut myself out. See, let's see. There we go. I don't want to continue with my email. No. Bad. There's got to be a way to cut out without needing all this crap. I think I've used this one before. Boom. All right. There we go. Haha. All right. Jim Cramer making flawless Bitcoin predictions. Man, how has the time has changed? Yeah, this week we got PCE data. We've got GDP data. ARM still breaking highs. Look at NVIDIA here. NVIDIA at 601s. Like, remember, the lifetime highs, though, if we hold over 600 and the market opens, then NVIDIA will technically be breaking lifetime highs. You know? So, we'll see. But, yeah. Yeah, thanks, guys. Yeah, I had a thumbnail guy reach out to me, and he actually does pretty good work. So, you know. Yeah, I'm gonna have to change that song. That song's a little bit too much, you know. I wonder if people use AI for stuff now. Like, I'm sure people kind of use AI to build some stuff like this now, right? Like, I can kind of build some stuff that's pretty good. Maybe I should make this a little bit larger and this a little bit larger. Change the color here instead of having a gradient color. Maybe have a background color, like what, like slightly green or something, and then make this opaque. All right, guys. Right before. With all kind of bad news about EVs, what do you think about Tesla for 2024? I'm not sure. PCE data does drop this Thursday. Or no, is it Friday? Oh, PCE data is Friday. GDP data is Thursday, I think. Like, let me check this to be sure, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So yeah, so Wednesday is S&P Services and Manufacturing PMI. Thursday is GDP jobless claims durable goods. Friday is PCE data. And so that's the week this week. We also have on Wednesday Tesla earnings, which is a very big day in markets. With Tesla dipping down for like the last little bit, it'll be interesting to see. Here's Tesla over a 10-day chart. Tesla's had a rough time of the last 2 weeks or so. Here's a 15-day chart if you want to look a little bit deeper back. But Tesla was at 265 at the end of December. Less than a month later, it is at 214. And so it has dipped pretty decent percentages here. For sure, pretty decent percentages. We also have earnings coming out today. Specifically this evening, we've got United Airlines, Logitech, Zions Bank, a couple other companies dropping earnings today, but the big ones are United Airlines and Logitech this evening. We're not going to stream those. They're just not big enough companies to really stream and make it worthwhile. Tomorrow morning, we do have some stuff, though. We've got specifically Verizon, 3M, GE, RTX, Procter & Gamble, Johnson & Johnson, Lockheed Martin, Halliburton, Ericsson, and a couple other companies dropping earnings tomorrow morning, followed by tomorrow evening where we have Netflix, Texas Instruments, Steel Dynamics, Baker Hughes, a couple other ones. And then again, Wednesday morning, we've got some big boys as well. We've got AT&T, ASML, Abbott, Progressive. And then the biggest one this week, the biggest two really this week are Tesla and IBM Wednesday evening. Tesla is expecting 74-cent profit per share on about $23.17 billion in revenue. IBM is expecting 375 EPS at $15.7 billion in revenue. So yeah, that is where we are at now with those. Those drop on Wednesday. Yeah, it should be pretty busy of a week, in all honesty. Should be pretty busy. Slap the like button if you haven't already, team. I appreciate it. We're going to look at some other news to see what's up today. All right, guys. I bought Tesla at 210. I'm thinking that even this trash company has to bounce back a little. Yeah, I mean, I feel you. What's up, Cheryl? How is Tesla this morning? Tesla is at 214s, roughly, a little bit under 214s. I don't know what GDP is going to show up as. GDP this week is expected at 1.7%. 1.7%. Previous, it was 4.9%. And so that's a pretty big dip. In GDP, let's see if we got anything else. I mean, we don't have any, like, again, it's actually a pretty slow first half of this week before the end of this week picks it up. Again, GDP expected at 2%. I'm seeing a couple. Last time it is expected at 4.9%. I wonder if more recession fears are going to be in line with that type of expectation with GDP. GDP is coming out on Thursday at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. So Thursday Eastern Standard Time. Dude. Elon Musk responded to Doug Polk on Twitter. I think it was Doug Polk, right? Or no, never mind. This is somebody else. I don't know who this is. Oh, I don't know who this is. I thought it was Doug Polk. It's not Doug Polk. Doug Polk actually just shared it. Okay, never mind. All right, guys. Bro, I'm just going to go around and I'm going to buy a diamond tester and I'm just going to go around and start testing everybody's wedding rings. I wonder how many wedding rings are fake. I bet you a large percentage of them are. Not even like, okay, like Carol. Okay, let me think of it. Carol has two. Like, she has the real one, and then she has the one where she wears everywhere. You know, and to a certain point, it doesn't make sense to wear the real one everywhere. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm not even saying, you know, I don't know what I'm saying. Nasdaq futures are up a bit. Yeah, so again, the Q is up, the SPY is up, Tesla is down. Or Tesla's green actually on the day. Nvidia, again, very big movement here. Look at Nvidia. Nvidia all the way up to 601s. Again, if Nvidia opens up around this level, it'll break highs. So it'll technically break highs. The lifetime high for Nvidia right now is 595. And so as long as Nvidia stays over this specific spot, then Nvidia is going to be breaking lifetime highs as soon as the market opens. So again, as long as Nvidia can remain over this spot right here at 595, then Nvidia is going to be breaking lifetime highs today. Why would you not wear the real one? Well, because, like, I've given Carol, here's an example. I've given Carol jewelry before, right? Like real diamonds, like jewelry. And whenever I give it to her, sometimes diamonds will fall out. And like we've had that happen before where I've given her like something like early in our relationship that had real diamonds in it, and then after a certain point like the diamonds go missing, and it's just a lot of work. And so some stuff is just meant to be a keepsake. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to wear real stuff everywhere. I think some stuff's meant to be a keepsake, and like I get why some marriages want to kind of flex. I really am a big believer, like marriages that end up working out are very humble beginnings, you know? Like I've seen people who go the whole nine and like have these huge big weddings, like the wives turn into bridezillas, and like they just get really toxic and turn into these huge ridiculous freaking weddings where everything has to be perfect and everybody has all these crazy unrealistic expectations, and like it's just drama and weirdness. And most of the time those marriages don't work. Like they fail, you know? Carol and I got married at a courthouse, you know, 15 years ago. And so I think sometimes the most humble beginnings are the better ones. And I think sometimes the more expectation you set on things, like it's hard to explain, like the harder it is to live up to that standard. And it's just a, you know, I don't know. A lot of crypto whales. Where's Bitcoin at right now? Bitcoin all the way down to 40K, man. Wow. Why is Bitcoin down this much? AMD, yeah. I mean, Nvidia all-time highs, AMD all-time highs today. You know, again, AMD all-time highs 174.25. Nvidia all-time highs 595. So I think both of these, as long as they hold reasonably well, look at the Q push up as well. As long as these hold reasonably well into the opening bell, they're gonna do lifetime highs as soon as the market opens at 9:30 today. Most of these will. Another one moving this morning, Amazon. Look at Amazon rip it up. It's at 157s right now, 157s. Boeing started to rip, or started to dip down, finally started to bounce back a little bit. Apple, you can see Apple way up there too. Apple at 193s right now, 193s for Apple, so a big move there as well. I think I'm still in Apple. Yes, I am still in Apple. That's nice to see. Your prediction for Bitcoin? I think long-term Bitcoin's going to be fine. It's just short-term, who knows what's going to happen with it. I think we're getting profit-taking, and people are starting to sell because we didn't get the big move that we thought we might from the ETF approval. And so I think some people are taking profit, but I think long-term, as we've seen, you know, I think something that you notice happens a lot is like Bitcoin goes like this, and people are silent, and then it dips, and people say it's the end of the world. It starts to rip up. People are silent. Some people, it starts to dip. People say it's the end of the world. It starts to rip. People are silent. It starts to dip. People say it's the end of the world. And so if you zoom out on Bitcoin, it is one of the best performing assets ever. You know, if you zoom out, like here's the Bitcoin futures. Look. And so, I mean, when you zoom out here and you go back to where it actually started, you know, the chart is still incredibly strong. Like we've been trending up in Bitcoin for over a year now. And, you know, again, I think right now, if we zoom in a little bit, you can kind of see like this is all we're in right here. We're move up, pull back, move up, pull back. You know, I don't know if we're going to do this. I hope we do. I don't know if we're going to. But I think we're just in a small little dip now. Maybe we hold, maybe we fall. I'm not sure. What do you guys think? What do y'all think Bitcoin is going to do? I really don't know. Doctors at a hospital in Texas informed George Pickering that his son was in a state of brain death. They explained that his son showed no brain activity and the decision has been made to remove life support. Pickering, however, was unconvinced. He demanded that the doctors continue their efforts, threatening to use, standoff, basically, the old Texas standoff. The situation escalated into a tense standoff lasting 3 hours, during which Pickering faced off against the police while the medical team performed additional tests. The hospital was secured. Tried to reason with him. In a pivotal moment, his son, previously declared brain dead, responded to his father's request to squeeze his hand, indicating cognitive presence. Following this revelation, he peacefully surrendered. He received 11 months in jail for it, but his son made a complete recovery. Honestly, man, doctors sometimes have God complexes. And again, I appreciate and respect doctors. I'm not hating on them, but I think sometimes you got to do what you got to do. It's kind of like that movie, John Q. Maybe less dramatic, but... All right, look at the Q still moving up a little bit. Where's AMC at right now? Is AMC still at 4s? Yeah, look at AMC. Still at 450s. I mean, maybe it's going to start to bounce back. Again, Apple doing really well. Amazon doing really well. Microsoft doing really well. Over $400 a share for Microsoft. I believe I'm still holding this one also. Yep, I'm still in Microsoft. You love to see it. Microsoft very strong. Bitcoin dips correlate with stock market dips. Yeah, sometimes. I mean, most of the time, crypto and everything moves with markets. Like, most of the time, if CPI comes in low, markets are going to bounce, including crypto, including Bitcoin, including the S&P, NASDAQ, Dow, all that good stuff. Most of the time, they're going to move with each other. But they're not complete, like, full positive correlations all the time. Like, sometimes they vary. Sometimes you'll see different correlations in different sectors and different markets. Like, bank weakness, like regional bank weakness can sometimes be good things for crypto, and crypto can run up. Gold has an impact on all of it. Like, there's a lot of... There's a lot of sympathy movement in markets, both positive and negative sympathy. So, but on a macro scale, most of the time, Bitcoin's going to move with markets. Most of the time, All right, so let's take a look. So here's the NASDAQ. NASDAQ up to 17.579. So yeah, NASDAQ's ripping up here too. Yeah, I'm in PayPal right now. I am in PayPal. PayPal is flying up. PayPal almost up to... my average price on PayPal is $51.40. PayPal making a very strong move here. Look at PayPal up to 68. Yeah, look at the Q. Q is still flying up as well. Wow. Yeah, the NASDAQ flying up. Here, let me pull up Discord. I don't even think I pulled it up yet. We are trying to grow our Discord. Let's see what else we got. Toss scripts. Right, there he goes. Doge is the only crypto on my list up trending. PayPal speculated to have a deal with X Payments. Supermicro semiconductors. Yeah, but how much of that is political bias, though, UD? You know? Like, I can't help but notice a trend where, you know what I mean? Like, and again, I'm very neutral politically. But I think there's some political bias against, you know, Elon in general. And I think I understand not trusting him, but I also think there's a lot of bias against it, too. All right, so SPY lifetime high. So the SPY lifetime high is, let's take a look. We're going to put this up on screen. SPY lifetime high is 482.70s, 482.70s. $482.70 what? Let's see, $482.72. Will we break this today after market open? Put that up on screen so people can kind of see what the lifetime highs are. Yeah, maybe you're right, UD. It's all good, bro. It's all good, man. You know. I just think, like, the reason I'm saying that is because of this, right? Like, I see so much, I see so many opportunities around, like, political bias. Like, one of them is, like, Target, as an example. You know, like, Target, you guys remember I bought Target when everybody was saying this thing was just done for. Like, I bought Target way down here at, let me take the trades off. I've traded it so much. I bought Target, like, way down at, like, the 105, 106's level, if I can remember correctly. And everybody, like, counted this out, acted like it was just the end of the world. And this was back in October or September. If I pull up Target here, everybody acted like it was just the end of the world. And when I bought it up, so many people got so upset with me for buying it. And it was one of the best dip buys I could get involved with. You know, I ended up riding that thing up. And now it's basically at 140s when, you know, so that's like a really big, like 35% gain on a stock, like within a couple months. So 35% up, outperforming a lot of other stuff too. I did the same thing with Amazon after some earnings. I did the same thing with Tesla, just to take the other side of that. I did the same thing with Tesla. Maybe not as much. I should have held at like 100, but still, I think there's a lot of overreactions to stuff. I think confirmation bias is strong in markets. How do you make that glow around the person? Like, there's got to be a way to, like, I guess a shadow. I guess a white shadow. Kind of. Oh no, that's not the right way. We don't want that. No. All right, look at the Q pulling back some. I might buy the Q here. There we go. All right. Feel me. Come on, man. All right, there we go. We're in 25 shares of the Q. I'm going to add some here and play with this a little bit. See if I can day trade this a little bit. There's 50 shares of the Q. We got a nice little like 5-minute pullback here. All right, so we're in 50 shares. I could probably add a little bit more here too. Let's see about yellow. Nvidia might be at all-time highs. All right, so yeah, we bought the dip. I could add a little bit more to it. I guess I'm not going to. Boeing's still pushing up. PayPal broke highs again at 68.30s right now. 68.30s. Get a background with a private jet and a Rolls Royce. Yeah, dude. Listen, that's the next step here. You know. I'm up at whopping I'm up at whopping $2.25 right now in this position. I'm about to, you know, put out my new day trading course, How to Get Rich in Markets by John. You know, it's gonna be like 5 different words. Buy the freaking dip now is gonna be those 5 words, and yeah, you know, it's gonna be a revelation in markets. We're still pushing up a little bit. We're up $5. You know, can we trade Tesla on Top Step? No, you can't, unfortunately. Top Step is futures trading, specifically futures trading. I'm excited to go to jiu-jitsu today, man. It's been a few minutes. Bro, everybody else got their second stripe, dude. And I'm not trying to complain. I've kind of just missed the coach. Like, I had COVID and, like, a bunch of stuff. And so I didn't really get a chance to get my stripe. But everybody else has got their second stripe now. And honestly, I'm beating everybody that got their second stripe. Like, I haven't been tapped by a white belt at my gym in like 4 months, you know, and I've been going every week, multiple times a week usually. And so, and I don't mind being kind of like a sleeper, I guess. People underestimate me, that's fine. But I want my second stripe. Honestly, when I roll against blue belts, it's competitive, you know. And so I want my second stripe. That's all I'm saying. I'm still mad about it. All right, so we're still up at our Q trade. After earnings, Tesla goes to 180. What do y'all really think that happens? That it goes to 180? That's pretty low, I think, for Tesla. But again, it was at 100 like a year and a half ago, so it can't be that low. I would assume futures have a little bit more fees because, you know, the biggest downside to futures is you have to pay commissions. But again, in the end, if you're trading large enough, commissions mean less than than anything like super significant on your planning like for planning. Commissions don't matter as much if you're trading as like in large enough size. They only matter if you're trading really small. Like, but with the Q, there's no fees. I don't think. I think this is a completely free trade. But most people don't have 30, 40K to do this with, you know, which is one of the reasons futures are super useful and necessary, because it ultimately allows them to. It ultimately allows traders to day trade the S&P and the NASDAQ with no PDT rule, which is something that you just don't get. Again, if you want to buy Mic check. 1 2 1 2. How's my sound? Did my sound go out? Okay, there we go. Yeah, sorry guys. I know I'm back. I fixed it. But no, what I was saying is that if I wanted to day trade the same one right here, like if I wanted to day trade the Q in stocks, right? Buy the actual Q ETF, I'm gonna need 25 grand plus in actual equity in a margin account to be able to do this freely, like I'm doing here on the right side. In futures, I can trade this left side, no PDT rule. I can trade this with a much smaller account, and these funded account programs are allowed, in which they give you a demo, test your skill. If you lose, you're only out what you pay for the demo, and relative to putting the money up yourself and risking thousands of dollars and probably losing that, most day traders lose. The futures market and funded account programs, specifically Top Step, makes perfect sense because you're limiting your risk while you're learning how to trade. And I think that is a very valuable thing. It's something that I wish I had when I first got started, because I would have just lost less. We all have to pay a market tuition when we learn how to trade. Everybody essentially has to pay that. And most day traders lose. And so you can either put up thousands yourself and pay the market tuition that way and probably lose whatever you put up with it trying to day trade stocks, or you could try the futures market out, try Top Step out. If you lose, it's a much less amount. And so again, you can check out the link right there if you want to help support the channel. Sorry, I don't know what time the thing went out, but all right. Yeah, I'm freestyling. That's what I was doing in the background, you know. And again, you can kind of see we're up a little bit here. We're up a little bit on our day trade. Tesla started to dip down. It's under the 200 EMA. It's under the volume weighted average price. We're going to put a 1 minute chart up. For this, we're going to put a 1 minute chart up. There we go. Alright, so we are gapping up a little bit. We did buy this dip. John, do you think you'd tap Khabib? I would probably tap him, you know. Like, listen, dude, I'm not saying I'm the greatest ever right now, but listen, I'm not saying Khabib Nurmagomedov is scared of me, but he probably is. Okay, let's just be honest here. He's probably scared of me, you know. I would guillotine him in like 30 seconds, dude. Like, let's just be honest. You know, what is Sambo? Sambo, useless, you know, obviously. And I'm obviously being sarcastic. Khabib would destroy me, you know. Yeah, for sure. He's definitely scared, you know. But in jiu-jitsu, I really only have one move. And once people figure out my one move, I'm basically useless, all right? Like, this actually happened on Friday. So Friday was no gi. And I do the same thing. I was rolling with like a blue belt. And he kind of caught, he was like, hey, he pointed at me. He was like, hey, you want to roll? And I was like, sure. And so I go roll with this blue belt, right? And we're standing up for like 2 minutes out of the 6-minute roll. You know, so like he's trying to take me down. I'm trying to drag his head down so I can guillotine him. And like, so I'm getting him in a bunch of collar ties and like trying to drag his head down so I can guillotine him. And he's like fighting with me. Eventually, he tries to take my back. And he did so in a way where he put his head down right around my arms. And so I kind of just jump on him and guillotine him and drag him to the ground and tap him out really quick. And he taps, and then we start back over. And then as soon as like that happens, it's bro, what the heck is wrong with my mic today, bro? My mic is all messed up, dude. I keep talking, Yeah. I don't know why my mic. I have to buy another mic. Honestly, these blue Yeti mics are good, but after a certain point, they just stop working. I'm gonna have to order another one. I guess I'll order another one right now. Blue Yeti mic. Is it time for me to get a better mic? I mean, I don't really know what other better mic I should get, in all honesty. I'm just so used to these Blue Yeti microphones, and they're so solid that they cost like $100 though. Blue Yeti USB. Okay, here's one for $100 with delivery today. All right, we're gonna go ahead and take you. Better be brand new. All right, we're just gonna go ahead and buy you right now. Here's my cart. I'm still in the queue right now. We are technically green on the queue. Alright, proceed to check out. Alright, let's change this order amount. Alright, delivering today 2 to 6. Got it. I don't care about that. Today 2 to 6. There you go. All right, there we go. We got a new mic on the way here, guys, so that way we don't have to run. Yeah. Sure. I mean, how much is a Shure SM7B? Yeah, these are nice. You know, these are nice. I mean, they're $500 though. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just ordered another one. It's all good. Sure. Why are you yelling at the mic? Stop it, Mike. How dare you, microphone? Is that better? Alright, guys. Again, we're still in the queue right now. We're just kind of sitting patiently here. Yeah, I mean, they might be better. I don't know if I really need them, though. Again, slap that like button, hit the notification bell. I appreciate the love, guys. Thanks so much. 73% of people think the SPY is going to break market highs during market hours today. 73%. Alright, so we got our... Alright, so we're bouncing up a little bit here. Trying to watch the NASDAQ here, too. I don't know if it's a good idea to short the market or not. I'm really not sure. Yeah, we're flat on our Q trade too. We've been sitting in this all morning. I don't know, Mars. I'm not gonna tell you guys what to do there. genuinely no idea what you should do, whether you should short or do whatever. Again, I really don't know. I never tell people what to do. Man, my wife left a little bleach on the counter. Sorry to hear that. Honestly, you'd be surprised. I love my wife, right? My wife does laundry for me sometimes, but she has like this big problem with how she does it. All right. And again, I appreciate. Look at this big bounce. Wow. I appreciate her helping us with household stuff. My wife's big problem, though, is that she never checks the freaking pockets of anything she washes, right? So she literally just takes everything and straight up throws it into the washing machine unchecked. You know, like I've had to buy like 10 pairs of AirPods, new wallets, everything. You know, and so she does a good job taking care of us, but she got to check the pockets, you know. You got to analyze what's going on and make your move. Yeah. PayPal calls. Yeah, PayPal's up a lot too. Markets are starting to bounce a little bit, but honestly, I'm waiting for those strong signals on Chart Prime. Those strong signals show up, like, look to be really powerful. I just gotta wait for them. Check your own pockets. I know, bro. Listen, I know. I do have to now. But still, you know. Like, I'm pretty sure most guys just kind of take their shorts off and just leave them, you know, with stuff in them. I very rarely check my pockets, so. My wife wanted to take pictures with me yesterday, too. I want to see these pictures. I'm getting old, bro. All right, let me see. Yeah, I'm getting old, man. We posted it in our Discord. Does my mic go out again? Is my mic still working? Okay, good. Yeah. Carol wanted me to take pictures this weekend. I'm getting old though, bro. That's the first thing I noticed from looking at these pictures. Like, I'm old. You know. My lips are chapped in the pictures too. I can't help it. Like, I have bad skin whenever the weather gets cold, for sure. You know. And the funny thing, like, Carol's hair is like dyed. It's kind of like purple. But like, the weirdest thing when you get old is when you have people where that you look at and they're roughly the same age as you, maybe a little bit younger, like maybe they're like in their 20s. They call you sir and ma'am. You know, that's the weirdest thing. You're not used to that. You know, as somebody in my 30s. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's all right, Code. It's all good, bro. Yeah. Make y'all's fun, dude. It's all good, bro. All right, so again, we're still long here. I'm trying to be patient and wait. Maybe I'm holding the queue too long. I've been in this trade all morning. Should I add to this? I probably should. I don't think this is a big enough trade. So I'm going to add another 50 shares to this and make it 100 shares. I just think the bull flag is so obvious here on the queue. You know. Missing that BR weather. Baton Rouge. I mean, Baton Rouge basically got the same weather as we do here. You know. Baton Rouge is basically the same weather. It's cold, it's rainy right now. How'd you and Carol meet? At 500 shares. I mean, we're at 100 shares. We'll see how this goes. I'm trying to be patient with it. I don't want to force it too much. We'll see. What do you think about Tesla? Yeah, so Arthur, if you signed up for Chart Prime, brother, alright, so now we're dipping down here. Maybe adding was the bad move there. I'll go ahead and take this off. I don't feel like losing that much today. We're gonna get out. We're actually kind of hedging a position here, though. So, like, we are actually in one trade on the NASDAQ short, so we're gonna cover that. So we actually made a little bit of money. Here's the NASDAQ. We're up 140 or so on that trade. But yeah, if you signed up for Chart Prime, it's basically you just gotta you gotta connect it with your TradingView account, and you might have to get premium TradingView data. You know, so you might have to get premium TradingView data. It just depends what you're trying to trade with it. All right, so Friday we have American Express, First Citizens, and a couple other banks. Thursday evening we've got Intel, Visa, Capital One, Levi's. Wednesday we have Tesla and IBM, which is the biggest one for earnings. Yeah, I got my thumbnail guy. He's pretty good. My guy's over here doing work. Like, what do y'all think of this thumbnail? I got this thumbnail guy reach out to me. He's pretty solid. I'll give him credit. He's pretty solid. You know? You guys look good. My B-day is coming up and I feel old. I wish I could go back to my early 30s. Yeah, I mean... I know. It feels old to me. Carol's younger than me. Carol's like a couple years younger than me. She's not that much younger, though. But she's like... She's younger. You look a bit weird. Do I look weird here? Aside from the fact that I'm like glowing red. I don't know why I'm glowing red. But, you know, bad companies will be bad companies. What's your worst company ever right now? What's your worst large cap company in the S&P 500 right now? What's the worst stock in the S&P 500? Terraform Labs files Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Bro, you know what game is just off? Not off, but like, how many rules does cricket have? Like, it looks like baseball to me, but it's I don't even know what I'm trying to say here. How many rules are in cricket? Is it as complicated as they say? I don't wish I was younger at all. Like, I'm very happy with my life, I think, JT. GameStop, AMC, Space, Hood. Space I knew was going to fail. That was just like an inevitable one. Obviously, it's going to fail. Should I buy the Q dip here? The Q right at the volume weighted average price. I'm thinking about buying it. It's just the NASDAQ. Yeah, I don't wish I was younger. I don't like getting old, but I don't wish I was younger. I'm very happy with my life. Like, I've got a good wife, a good family, like a good life. I live a very good life. I can't be ungrateful for it, I think. You know, I just have to be grateful for what I have, I think. A lot of people don't have it like that, and so I'm just grateful to still be married, you know, have beautiful kids, healthy kids, you know. I'm just glad to have those blessings. Think I got to be grateful for it. Cricket, only 3 people see most of the action. Everybody else just stands around waiting. Yeah, what happened to Space, man? I remember not liking Space here. Here's NVIDIA. Again, when NVIDIA opens, as soon as market hours hit, it'll break lifetime highs. It's still kind of pushing towards it right now. It just depends on where it holds. The lifetime highs are only during market hours. And so you can see the previous lifetime high was 595. It's all the way up to 603, 602s, 601s right now. And so right at the market open, this thing should show lifetime highs. It should reinforce those lifetime highs right when the market opens. And again, the Q is now down at the volume weighted average price. I'm not sure what I want to do with this either. Yeah. Hey, thank you, P. I appreciate it, man. Thanks so much, dude. I've worked every day since I was 14. Then I have... Yeah. Yeah, so the NASDAQ's still dipping down. Again, part of me wanted to buy this dip at the volume weighted average price. And I think I might buy it again. Alright, so we're in 100 shares here again. Maybe I should have just stayed in it the first time. But I mean, we can have fun with it. We're in 100 shares. This is about a $42,000 position in the queue right now. It doesn't mean I'm risking $42,000, of course, but it just means like that's how much equity this trade has. The futures market just makes a lot more sense if you're going to try to day trade like this. I'm day trading futures as well. We're currently up some in futures also. We're up 140 on the last trade. So here's our futures profit. We'll see if we can keep it. Yeah, I like my 30s. $79 likes. We could do better than that, guys. Come on now, man. What are y'all thinking? I'm just messing with you, kind of. Hit that like button, team. You know you want to. All right, so we're going to let the 200 EMA hold. If it can't hold, we're just going to get out of this. This is TOS right here. Yeah, I mean, I'm down like 30 bucks trading the Q this morning on TOS. But I want to let it work, see if it holds over the 200 EMA and give it some time. It's kind of a longer term day trade. Yeah, the scariest part about getting older is that time goes by so much faster. You know, like time goes by so much faster as you get older. Like when you're young, it goes by in like a second, you know. Nasdaq dipping down. Everybody's clowning Kramer. All right, so here's NVIDIA. Let's take a look at Tesla as well. I think Tesla's going to have a big influence. AMD is another one that people are watching here. Google's gapping up some as well. Microsoft over 400s today, still over 400s. I think $400 could be like a big psychological level for it though. All right, team. Microsoft very strong. All right, so here we're at the 200 EMA. I'm just gonna let it. I'm playing with it a little bit, playing with that level. Looking at our poll numbers here. Nine Bitcoin ETFs now hold 95,000 Bitcoin, worth $4 billion. That's a bad tattoo. All right, guys. Anything else you guys see? Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised Bitcoin price didn't move up too, in all honesty. Like, that's a surprising thing. Like, you would think Bitcoin would move up because it's such, it just means so much more broad adoption for it. But for whatever reason, it just didn't, you know? Bitcoin back above 41K. Where's it at now? Let's see. Coin market. Let me look at Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin currently sitting at 41.13 thousand, 41.13 thousand. So it's trying. It's just surprising, but I mean, again, it's kind of business as usual. Bitcoin price tends to go like this, pull back, this, pull back, this, pull back, you know, and every time we get a pullback, people act like it's the end of the world, but it very rarely is. Most of the time, long term, it continues to go up. Apple Vision Pros are now $3,500. I mean, what is the Vision Pros? I mean, I don't have an Apple phone, so maybe I'm out of the loop, but when is flu season over? Yeah, Apple's doing well though. If we look at Apple, speaking of the Vision Pros, Apple all the way back up to 190s. All right, so I think we're gonna have to go ahead and cut this. We played around with it. We lost $45 on the Q. We've essentially broken under the 200 EMA, under the volume weighted average price, unfortunately, and that's all right because I mean in futures trading we're doing all right. We're up over 200. We're kind of taking some hedged positions here. Now at this point we're up about 3 on the day, and we'll see if we can build that up some more. What do you think about Boeing? I'm in Boeing right now, although it's a longer term position. You know, and it's bouncing up a little bit today. Like I bought Boeing on the dip, and we're essentially flat on it. You know, it ended up dipping a lot. It dropped all the way to 208s in pre-market for Boeing, and then it bounced all the way back up to like 213s where it's sitting now. And so it's kind of neutral. Again, we're also in PayPal, which is up big today. A lot of stuff's up today, believe it or not. So the market is up a lot. Tesla is up too, as well. Why is gold dropping? Gold. Yeah, gold is down at 2026. Look at gold fall. I'm not sure why gold is down. There's gold outside to 2026. All right, so there's gold. Gold's all the way down at 22 or 2026. Yeah, but I mean, please don't get too political, UD. Like again, it just everything's political, brother. Let's try not to be super political around everything, man. You know. And then again, it's all love. I'm not attacking you, man. Please don't feel attacked or anything. Like, it's all good, bro. But let's just not be political, you know? Alright, so the Q bouncing back up now. I mean, I feel you, man. But Adobe. Yeah, gold's testing the VWAP here. Bowie's still up big. Adobe's still at 618, so Adobe's actually up a lot. Look at Adobe, it's at 618s. Yeah, I mean, again, it's all good, UD. Again, friendly warning, if it's too political, like, if everything you say or bring up is politics related and arguing, pushing one side in politics, eventually you're going to get banned. You know, like, again, and that goes for either side. Like, that goes for either side. So it's not just like one side, it's either side. If you push either side a lot, you're going to get put in timeout, and then eventually you're going to get banned. I just don't want political arguments here. I'm very neutral politically, and so I really am neutral. So like both sides pushing is gonna bother me either way, you know. And again, it's all love. I hope you guys understand. I just try to keep it very. Same thing would happen if somebody started like preaching about religion or preaching about politics or whatever it is. We just can't have that here. It's too argumentative, you know. So I hope you understand. I don't have my 481 call looking juicy. Are we potentially overextended now? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It depends on what y'all would consider overextended. It really would. Like, it depends. I think if we look at the SPY here, the SPY's now breaking lifetime highs. Or at least it's close to it. Now, we haven't really moved significantly over those previous lifetime highs. And so here's the previous level right here. And we're nicely over that now. You know, right around 480 is where that previous lifetime high was. You can see that's way down here. Let's activate this and fix it. Yeah, way down here. We'll put a... And so... we got that previous lifetime high level. We're way above it too. And so, yeah, we'll see what happens. I would reach out to them, Tyler, and ask them, brother. What do you say about housing being a mess for first-time buyers, people who do everything, work hard? Yeah, I think interest rates are just high relative to what they've been over the last, like, 20 years. I think interest rates are just high right now, you know? And so for me, like, again, I'm a licensed real estate agent. I don't ever really sell houses or do business in that regard, though, but, like, I do have my license, and so I'm going to preface everything with this is not real estate advice. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I might be wildly wrong about everything. All right, genuinely might be wildly wrong about everything. But with that said, though, we might trade gold live. What else we got? Yeah, I mean, UD, I feel like I warned you enough, brother. I mean, and I'm not sure if you're trying to cause drama or trying to, like, you know, go against what I'm saying. I mean, and again, it's all good, bro. Like I told you, I gave you a warning, brother, you know? Like, I gave you a warning, dude. Like, let it go, bro. Hey, thank you, DMC. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man. Yeah, I mean, again, like I said, guys, I'm very neutral politically. If you start arguing with me about politics, you're starting to shame one side, and that's, you know. I hope you understand. We're going to give you a 5-minute timeout, and then if it keeps going, we'll have to figure out what we're going to do. And again, I'm definitely not a believer in, like, rooting for your political side like it's your football team. You know, I think most reasonable people are in the middle somewhere, you know. And I think somebody that pretends to agree 100% with either side is either desperate to fit in or just dumb, you know. Because I think most reasonable people are in the middle somewhere, you know. But again, maybe I'm wrong. Either way, I just kind of stray away from all of it. I don't like bureaucratic nonsense. I just try to keep things neutral and anti-religious and anti-political. All right, so the Chiefs beat the Bills and Josh Allen. The Lions. Texans are out. 49ers are in. Packers are out. Who do y'all think is going to win the Super Bowl this year? Can we argue about where are the best girls? I mean, you can, I guess, but I think the South is going to win, you know. The South U.S. Maybe not, though. I don't know. Maybe I'm biased. All right, Q up to overvalued weighted average prices at 424s. Right now, 424s. We'll see if it holds. The Saints should have been in the Super Bowl. Again, Boeing's still moving up here. You love to see it. Let's see if it continues. I don't know. It's bad. I'm not really like, my wife has some family from up north in the U.S. and like the Midwest. And I don't really like the accent very much. Maybe I'm biased. All right, look at the SPY. I think this is just a rogue order. You know, the accent, like my stepdad is Canadian. And so like, it sounds to me like a Canadian accent. Like, you guys going to the store, eh? Hey, you guys, what you guys doing up there, eh? You know, it's just kind of like, I just can't get down with it, you know. Maybe I'm biased. Yeah, they're a bad year. I mean, again, they would have never won the Super Bowl, but I'm still going to root for them. Yeah. What you guys going on about, eh? Got that up north accent. Again, my wife's family's from Michigan. And so that's the only, and my stepdad is Canadian. I've actually lived in Canada for a while, in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, and Batchewana, Ontario is where I lived. Really nice people, great food, you know, pretty hospitable culture, you know, overall just nice people. But I can't get down with the accent, you know. All right, look at the Q dip. Q's very sideways right now, very sideways. Just not much going on. Yeah. Huh. All right, so we got the NASDAQ dipping down. Anything else moving right now, guys? Do y'all have anything else y'all want to look at? Boeing pushing up this morning. Still looking pretty strong. Almost fought us all the way back up to flat on the day. Still slightly red, but fighting its way back. Apple up there. Apple at 190 still looks pretty solid. Tesla, again, still sitting at 213s, 214s. What do you think about shorting Nvidia? I think it's incredibly risky right now. I think people have been talking about shorting Nvidia since it hit 5s. And it's almost up to 6s. And so I think people mistakenly think that what goes up has to come down. But in blue chip stocks, especially in emerging sectors, it's not necessarily the case. I'm not saying it won't come back down. But what I'm saying is that the likelihood that you're going to catch it at a level at which it has to come down is low. I mean, a lot of people are going to consider it extended and inflated in price. But it doesn't mean it is. And if AI is such a game-changing technology, then what we might see is just big improvements and big, leaps in price for all these tech and AI-related stocks like Nvidia. And so, again, it's at over 600 right now. People were shorting it at 450s, at 4s, at 3s, and it's still moving up. Most of them. And again, the longer... What I will say is this, is like you can short large blue chip companies. And I understand how some traders might really get aboard that type of strategy. But the problem is, like, the longer you hold short positions in blue chips, the less likely you are to make money on it. Because over time, these stocks are mostly going to move up. Over long periods of time. And when I say long periods, I mean like decades. And so you can short these short term, I guess. You just can't be stubborn with it. And if you're wrong, you have to be willing to cut your losses and move on. Because I guess the biggest mistake I see a lot of people take is that they short these companies. And when they're wrong, they double down and they just kind of keep adding to short positions. And again, that's a really risky bet because some of these blue chip companies are just going to go higher and higher and higher and higher. And so it's just a really risky trading strategy. I'm not really one to take it. I just think it's too risky there. Caramel, in other words. Oil. How do you say oil? Like there's oil, there's caramel. I'm from Louisiana originally, but my accent is kind of gone. I mean, I still have a little bit of an accent, but it's not as bad as it used to be. No, I'm not even gonna say it was bad. It's not as pronounced as it used to be. Creek? What's a crick? I don't even know what that is. Like crawfish in the creek? Nvidia producing chips that will take over my job soon. Yeah, I mean, AI is such a groundbreaking technology. It really is. Tesla got beat down. Did it really? Yeah, there's Tesla. I don't know if this is beat down, but it is falling down some. Again, the big story of this week is Tesla earnings. Tesla earnings are this week. Very big week. Yeah, what's a crick? I don't know what that is. It's got like a crayfish, or New Orleans. Nobody knows what that is, Again, I've said it before. New Orleans is one of those words that only tourists say for the most part. Nobody ever really says New Orleans unless they're not from New Orleans, or New Orleans. That's the biggest word I think people get wrong. Louisianian word people get wrong is New Orleans. They hear it in Johnny Be Good, and so they think that's how people pronounce it, and it's not. We have big earnings this week, team. So again, the other one that drops earnings this morning is United Airlines, UAL. Now, United Airlines has dipped pretty significantly over the last couple days. You can see United Airlines all the way down to 38s. They do drop earnings this evening. And so the question is, what is this going to do? The NASDAQ's still downward trending here. It's New Orleans, or New Orleans, if you're from New Orleans. Louisville. Yeah. If earnings miss. Yeah, United Airlines. Yeah, it's kind of like, I'm from Baton Rouge, right? And the whole thing, like, Baton Rouge means red stick. You know, Baton Rouge is how originally it was pronounced, but nobody from there actually pronounces it that way. It's almost always Baton Rouge, you know. Alabama. Alabama's nice. Alabama gets so much hate, mostly because everybody from Louisiana hates Nick Saban, and he recently retired, and they hate Bama. But again, my dad's side, like, I have family from Bama, you know. Boo. Go Tigers, you know. All right, so again, Amazon is another interesting one right now. Here's Amazon. Amazon right at the 200 EMA. So Amazon's right at the 200 EMA. You can see it sitting right at that level here. Part of me wants to buy the market, especially with the Q pulling back as much as it has. I think I'm going to go ahead and try that. We're going to go ahead and buy the NASDAQ here because we can. We're going to go ahead and buy the NASDAQ here. Partly because I think Amazon might give us a bounce spot here. We'll see. Yeah, is that wrong? I say caramel. I definitely don't say caramel. Whatever that means. Alright, so the Q had a pretty large pullback here. Again, we're up in futures today. We're up like $300 so far in pre-market. The problem with most of my day trading, like people always like attack my day trading. The problem with it is that I start streaming so early. Like I start streaming so early that most of my trading is done in early pre-market, right? And to the point where the market opens, after 15 minutes, I usually shut it down. And so I don't stick around long enough when the market is super favorable to like day trade the best price action, I think, is my big issue. Is I just don't stick around long enough. Maybe I should stick around and stream deeper into the open. I think that would probably help my short-term trading results. All right, so now we're up about $40 here. We got a nice little cushion. Maybe we can add to this some more. Again, Amazon right at that 200 EMA. Boeing still bouncing back up. Now we're down a little bit. All right. UD, did you really say another political comment, bro? People are weird, man. Let me just vet with somebody else. Is that a political comment? Again? Hold on. Okay, here, bro. Now you're just doing it intentionally. Let's see. Does it let me affect? Let me see how much it lets me do this. Good day to you, sir. 24-hour timeout. I tried to warn you, bro. I tried to warn you, dude. I never understood why be like that. I'm pretty neutral politically too, you know. Yeah, we give him a 24-hour timeout. I just don't know why. Oh man, I'm down on this position. Sorry, I just looked at it. Yeah, go sit in the corner, sir. Sit in the corner and think about what you've done today. All right? UD, sit in the corner. Think about what you have done today. All right? And why it was a bad decision. Okay? Yeah, I've lived in Canada during the winters. It is not fun. It is not fun. Although there's part of it is endearing to me. Like I like Canada during the winters. Like inside feels very like there's a really good feeling of like going through the snow, making a long trip through the ice cold winter, and then getting inside next to a fire and getting comfortable inside. Like that's a very endearing thing in my opinion, you know. So like part of it is okay. I like the snow. Maybe it's just because I don't live in the snow, and so I'm from Louisiana, so it never snows, and so I don't have to deal with it regularly like people up north do. But I always like sledding in the snow, you know. It was always fun. All right, Nvidia is still holding at $600, and I think $600 is going to be a level. And again, we're kind of flat on this NASDAQ trade. Look at Nvidia here, though. Look, here's Nvidia. Nvidia is still consolidating around 600 bucks. The market itself is starting to break down. Like, here's the Q on the right side. So the market itself is starting to break down, but now we're down 100 bucks, unfortunately. Don't go to school. I mean, I don't know. It really depends, man. I think like certain people should go to school and certain people shouldn't. All right, so we're about to cut this probably here. We're still green on the day, but we're gonna go ahead and cut this if it breaks lows again. But yeah, whether you should go to school or not is really depends. You know, I think somewhere along the last 30 years, everybody going to college has been like a standard. And I think some people shouldn't go to college, right? Like I think there's certain skill sets where you're going to be at a disadvantage if you go to college, specifically like entrepreneurship. Like you should never go to college to be an entrepreneur. It's silly. Like you don't need that. You just don't need it. Like if you're going to start your own business, you're going to have a much bigger edge starting your own business and like figuring out how to do it. A lot of people go, unless you're going to get it. A lot of people get their bachelor's in business or like their bachelor's in marketing. The only way you should ever get a business degree is if you're going to go the whole nine and get your MBA. If you're not going to get an MBA, do not get a bachelor's in business. I mean, any degree is better than no degree to a certain extent if you're out there looking to work in a corporate environment. But I think a lot of people get a bachelor's in business and they don't understand why it's hard for them to find a job. It's hard for them to find a job because people with MBAs are getting those jobs, you know? And so I think it depends. If you're doing like, if you want to be a doctor or a lawyer or whatever, like get your, you know, degree there. I'm for that. But I think there's a lot of other degrees that people get, like journalism. Like there's a bunch of degrees that are just a waste of time to a certain extent. But again, any degree is still going to be better than no degree. It just might not be worth the 6 figures in debt and, you know, that you're going to be put yourself in to get it. So that's my stance on it. You know, I think certain people just shouldn't go to college too. I think, you know, everybody wants their kid to go to college, but originally it wasn't necessarily meant for that. It was only meant for specific degrees, and I don't know. Yeah, STEM subjects for sure. That's what I teach my kids. Yeah, it really just depends on what you're doing. Boeing's still pushing up. So yeah, we're actually still green up. We're up about $130 on the day. Here's our P&L. We're doing all right. The market's starting to flush back down though, and so again, we might just wait until the opening bell to see if we get anything good there. I don't know if we're gonna find anything we like super early. Dude, there was one of the strong signals. I missed it, and it was to the downside like 10 minutes ago. That sucks. Oh well. trading. Yeah, so here's the NASDAQ starting to flush down. There's NVIDIA all the way under. NVIDIA finally broke under that $600 level. Yeah, STEM plus medicine or law, 100%. I think those, again, if journalism, business, you know, there's just a lot of degrees that are essentially useless. Not useless, like, I say useless, but I don't know. It just depends on what you're doing, you know. All right, so look at that bounce on NVIDIA right at the 200 EMA. Back over $600 now. We'll see how strong of a support level 600 is for this. You know, we'll see how strong of a support level is. Yeah, I don't know. I think law and medicine degrees could be done differently. And I think they could be done in a more effective way. Like how medicine and law used to be is that you would get your degree and then you would act as a apprentice in those skill sets, following the masters around and having an apprenticeship relationship with if we're talking about the medical field, they would get their bachelor's or whatever. They would take a certain amount of like med school stuff, but not like the full 4 years of medical school like you do now. And instead they would follow around an actual like long-term skilled doctor, and they would act as an apprentice in that way. And I know that's what med school does to a certain extent as well, but like a law degree as an example, right? Like a lawyer used to be able to pass the bar and then be an apprentice attorney for a certain amount of time. And somewhere along the line, that standard changed to where now you have to go to like 4 years of law school. And again, that's kind of what they're doing at law school to a certain extent. But I think that people are going to learn more in that type of environment as an apprentice versus going to school and sitting in classrooms. I just think people can learn that stuff much faster. And I wish they still had it where if you pass the bar, you could be an attorney. But again, somewhere along the line, big education picked it up and they set more rules to where you basically have to go to law school now and do all this crazy stuff to get it, which I don't necessarily agree with. I think you should be able to be an attorney if you could just pass the bar. Do you think Grayscale will keep dumping Bitcoin today? I don't know. Bitcoin's down a lot. Bitcoin's down a lot. You know what I mean? I'm not sure what they're going to do. What is that noise? Yeah. Yeah, I think most like programmers are not going to need like software development is another one of those fields where you don't really need to go to school for. I mean, you're going to get an easier job finding path if you go to school and get your degree, but a lot of developers actually go to boot camps now, and so they go to like a 6-month boot camp, like super compacted. But like basically they teach you a lot of stuff in that 6 months, and then at the end of it you get like a certification where you can be a software developer without necessarily needing your degree. And now people with degrees are going to have an easier time doing it, but I think people that go to boot camps like that are going to know so much more than people who go to college for it to a certain extent. And so, like, if you spent the equivalent amount of time actually working as a software developer versus just going to school for it, again, the people who go to boot camps and then work as software developers in like a three to 4 year period are going to be much more experienced, much better programmers and developers than the person that went to school for it. And so I think that standard it's an interesting change in employment as well. A lot of people don't realize, like, you can be a software developer if you go to a boot camp for 6 months, and you can getting your first job is the hardest, but you'll be able to find a job even if you don't go to college for it. Yeah, I saw you, Sam. Hey, nice call, brother. Nice call, man. That was a good call. Market did break down some for sure. Right, for sure. And programming is something where, like, you can learn in a classroom, but it's going to be something where you're going to learn a lot more actually doing it, Classrooms, they try to drag it out so long so you keep paying them, where, a boot camp for 6 months is going to teach you to be a better programmer than 2 years of college for the most part. Yeah, boot camps are the future of engineering, I think, and specifically software engineering, like not necessarily broad engineering, but like software development, programming. All right, guys. And AI is getting to the point where it can program really well. All right, so we are breaking down a little bit here. NASDAQ flushing. All right, guys, so let's see if the market breaks highs today. We'll see. All right, team. So we got pre-market. Pre-market live. Yeah, Nvidia is going kind of crazy here. Let's fix this. Hey, what's up, Burner? I'm good, brother. I'm good, man. Are there any trading school in the USA? What do you mean? Yeah, there's a lot of them. You don't really need to go to a trading school, though, you know? All right, team. Q is definitely the way forward in 2024. We're starting to bounce up a little bit, but I don't know if the market's going to pull back or what. All right. All right, so you can see the NASDAQ still bouncing. It still looks to be in a downward trend, though. All right, so we're still kind of just sitting here looking to see if we can ride the downward trend. All right, let's see. PHUN 30 minutes. Based on the number of factors, I'm still short. Yeah, so we are starting to get a flush breakdown here. Let's see if we continue down. All right, guys, we got less than 30 minutes here, less than 30. When is let me check back to see when Nvidia earnings are going to be. I know we have AMD earnings. Nvidia earnings are February 21st. AMD earnings are January 30th. Oh, wait, did they change AMD earnings? Dude, I think they did. Hopefully they did. Pfizer, GM, UPS. No, they didn't. Damn, dude. All right, so we got Microsoft, AMD, and Google all same day. Boeing earnings the next morning. When are Amazon earnings? February 1st. Okay. So that's not as bad. Then what about February 31st? Boeing, QCOM. Yeah, so Thursday. Okay, that's not bad. Ugh, oh my gosh, dude. So we got Apple, Amazon, and Meta. Same day. Next Thursday. Yeah, Yusuf. You're just spamming, brother. Yeah, I use Quant Tower on Top Step. All right, so we're scalping a little bit more here. Here's the S&P 500 trade. We're up 75 shares in this. I want to let this work a little bit more. We're riding the breakdown on the S&P 500 here. So you can see we're up about 90 bucks on the last little bit. Yeah, no, I remember it's an election year. Usually election years are stronger. All right, we're up 100. We're going to go ahead and cut that. All right, so now we're back up to $300 green on the day. Maybe we'll wait until the opening bell to do something, but... Okay, got you. All right, Tesla will not be in this rally. Yeah, I mean, if we look at Tesla here, there's Nvidia dipping down. Nvidia's still battling that level. Here's Tesla. Tesla now under the... Tesla technically red on the day now, which is interesting. And then Boeing is still looking incredibly strong. Boeing all the way back up to essentially 215s right now. Almost green on the day for Boeing. Look at Boeing make its rebound here. Again, this is why I buy up emotional dips in companies. Like anytime a big blue chip company has like a huge overreaction to the downside, I usually love buying these up for this exact reason, because most of the time they're going to come back up pretty quickly. Not always, though. I can't tell you what to do. I'm not telling you what to do, but most of the time. But... AMD. People keep using the election year as bullish when they forget it's an election year with inflation. Yeah, I mean, I think people are using the election year thing because most of the time markets have a green year during election year. Most of the time, like, politicians do everything they can to keep the market green during election years. That's why election year is brought up so much, is because most of the time people do whatever they can to keep the market green in those periods. Yeah, ADM, I don't know what this company is. It's gapping down a pretty big percentage, though. Boeing's still moving. Amazon's still trying to hold. All right, team. So we're looking at gold. There we go. So we got the thumbnail up. If the dollar tanks, it means you're worth. Yeah, I mean, the dollar tanking might be seen as an optimistic thing because of inflation problems right now. Amazon's still bouncing up, and so it really depends on what's going on there. Yeah, we still got 20 minutes here until the opening bell, team. Y'all join our Discord as well. We do have a Discord here. Maybe I should put them up. Yeah. I don't know, Marley. Maybe, bro. Again, I don't know what we're going to get. Again, I hear people call for a crash a lot, Marley, and very rarely does the crash actually happen. Most of the time it doesn't, you know? And so it just depends on the situation. I don't think we're necessarily there yet. I think earnings season is going to be a lot. Like, earnings season is going to be a pretty big tell because earnings season comes out basically this week with Tesla earnings. Next week we've got Apple, Amazon, Meta, Google, a bunch of big earnings calls next week as well. Like, basically every day next week is filled with earnings, I think. Apple, Amazon, Meta earnings next Thursday on February 1st. We've got, like, big earnings tomorrow morning with, like, I think we have Verizon earnings tomorrow. Let me see. Yeah, so this evening we got United Airlines. Tomorrow we have Verizon, 3M, GE, RTX, Procter & Gamble, Johnson & Johnson, Lockheed Martin, Halliburton, Ericsson. And then tomorrow evening we've got Netflix as well. So we got some big earnings coming out. And again, those earnings are going to be an influence on markets, on how well markets do. Depends on how well these earnings come in. You know, what those earnings look like is going to be the big influence. We're also going to get ready to day trade a little bit more here. Here's the E-mini. Here's the NASDAQ. I don't know what we want to do yet. The NASDAQ's still kind of just consolidating around lows. And then earnings season starts next week. This week's actually really boring. Let's see what Boeing does. Boeing I'm basically flat on now, and we ended up buying that dip. We'll see if it rips up after the open. The question is, what does the market look like at the opening bell? Here's, again, NVIDIA around lifetime highs. The SPY around lifetime highs. The Q around lifetime highs here as well. The Q lifetime highs are 421.30s. 421.30s. You can see if we're looking at where we're at now, we're at 423s. So as long as the Q holds this over the next 15 minutes, the Q is going to break lifetime highs at the opening bell. The SPY is going to break lifetime highs at the opening bell. Elon won't start his AI project until he gets more shares. Yeah, we'll stream the earnings calls this week. That Mardi Gras coffee's good, but ugh. All right, we got 14 minutes, team. 14 minutes. Look at The Economist, all the data, it's worse than the great. Yeah. I mean, no, we're not. Again, I mean, Marley, listen, brother, I know if you watch the news, it might seem like it's the end of the world, right? Like, for people that don't understand, like, economics, it might seem like it's the end of the world, right? Like, understand what a recession means is 2 consecutive losing GDP quarters, and we're just not anywhere near that. Inflation is actually pretty... Like, inflation isn't super high right now. If you look at inflation expectations, right, we could look at, or later this week we have what's called PCE inflation data coming out, right? So we could look at PCE and see what it's expected to show up as. PCE is expected at 3%. You know, so like, is it, again, you got to understand, a year and a half ago we were at almost 9% for CPI inflation data, right? So 3% is not super bad. Last time we came in at 3.2%. This time we're expecting 3% year over year. And so inflation is slowing down. GDP is still positive as well. So we're just not in some big recession-like situation. In fact, most people are predicting that we're going to have what's called a soft landing, which means that we're going to have inflation come back down enough without causing a recession. And so, again, maybe this year we have some worse news. It depends on when the Fed decides to cut rates and do all that other stuff. And again, I think people get really politically biased where like they watch the news on either side. And of course, like whichever, you know, side it is, they're trying to make the other side look bad. And so they're trying to act like it's just the worst it could ever be right now. And again, I think when you look at pricing, that's not really where we're at. Gas prices are a good gauge of it, right? What's the average price per gallon? The average price per gallon is at 260s, right? So very reasonable levels in terms of prices. Inflation's never going to go down, really. I mean, it sometimes will go down, but what it will do is it'll slow. So inflation can slow down. Yeah, I mean, 0101 gaming, I heard the same thing 2-3 years ago. And again, most of the time, you have to understand, like, doom sells, right? Like, you've heard a lot, I've seen a lot of big time influencers make these big crash predictions for years now. And again, you got to understand, like, most of the time, doom sells. Doom gets clicks more than anything else. And I'm not saying we don't crash. Like, the normal state of the market is that every decade or so we have a mini crash or correction at least. But what I'm saying is that predicting that crash is going to be much more difficult. People are acting like the SPY or the S&P is just like at these crazy extended levels. And I think if you zoom out and you look at like a longer term chart, here's the Q. The Q broke highs recently, but prior to the last 2 months or so, we hadn't been anywhere near lifetime highs for years. You know, so for years we were downtrending. For years we were rebounding from that downward trend. And so it's not like we're at some obscenely high level just needing to crash. It's just not really like that right now. And maybe we get something like that in the future. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't think we're there yet. I think we have time. And I think my bias, and again, this is just my own bias from running like a decent sized YouTube stream for years now, is that most people come in here and they make these big, bold crash predictions. And then the market continues to push up. Because that's the natural state of the market, is that it goes up over time, right? At least the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, blue chips, tech, they're almost always going to go up over time. Now, they might have crashes in between then, but like people have to understand the statistics behind it. The S&P will give you 10% on average a year, right? Roughly 10%, but that includes when the market crashes. And so on good years like last year in 2024, the market moved up much more than 10% because it's compensating for the times that it crashes, right? So what did the market give you last year? It gave you 24%. You know, and people don't understand. They're still thinking, oh man, 24% means we're super extended. And maybe it does. A lot of it is going to have to do with FOMC decisions here. When are they going to cut rates? And so we can look at when they're going to cut rates and like what the expectation is for that type of stuff. But here's the March. Here's the FOMC meeting we're going to have at the end of this month in about 9 days. Almost everybody is expecting a continued pause. Nobody's expecting a rate cut. So they're going to continue pause 99.5%. The next one is in March. In this one, most people are still betting on a pause. Almost half of the people are betting on a 25 basis point cut. And then in May, I think, is when the cut. Yeah, so most people are expecting a 25 basis cut in May for the first cut. And again, we'll see. We'll see. You never really know. Yeah, but I mean, man, people have been saying that for years, brother. You have to understand. You got to understand, like, crashes are wildly overpredicted in markets, man. Crashes are wildly overpredicted. And so if you're a new trader and you watch some of these other big-time influencers or the news in general, right, you might think that the market is in some never-ending state of crash. Like, the market's just going to crash. That is pretty much a universal thing in markets. Like, there's always some people pushing for a crash at any point in market history that's happening. In big bull markets and big bear markets, everybody's, like, somebody somewhere is predicting a crash. Most of the time, they're wrong. Michael Burry has predicted about 20 crashes over the last, like, 20 years. And he has been wildly wrong about almost all of them, except for 2008. And so you have to understand what it really is, which is that crashes are wildly overpredicted. And again, you can predict a crash. Maybe you're right. I don't know, man. Again, I'm skeptical. I've just heard it too much. And I've seen the market push up in everybody's predictions, you know. So over a certain point, you become skeptical, I think. And for the most part, like, you have to understand markets are going to move up because inflation goes up over time, right? Inflation doesn't go up, but prices go up. Prices go up because dollars are devalued over time from inflation. And so companies in turn have to earn more to be about the same in terms of standards. And so over time, prices are going to go up. Companies are going to earn more. In turn, stock market and index funds are going to move up, so forth and so forth and so on. It kind of snowballs from there. And so markets are going to go up over time. You know, I think a lot of people overpredict crashes. And maybe we do crash, but I'm not one of those people that overpredicted. You got to go like this. There you go. Karate chop it. What? Huh? Yeah, because it's 9 o'clock. You're going to school at 9. No, I didn't. I don't remember waking you up. I thought she didn't want me to wake you up early since you could sleep in a little bit later. Oh. Love you. I'm sorry. Alright, my fault. I'm sorry. Love you. But hey, send Jack in here. Yeah. Here, Maddie, open the door for Jack. Yeah, that's not gonna work. There you go. Hey, bro. How you doing, man? Love you, buddy. You brush your teeth? Good, man. Oh, man, you got your bionic arm. Everybody check out my son's bionic arm. Look at him. Show him. Show him how you work. It's cool, man. I love it. My son's engineering over here making stuff. Let me see this thing? Watch, let me see. Oh, wait, I gotta use my left hand, huh? Hold on. Here, hold on, bro. I got it. I know how to do it.
Are you right-handed or left-handed?
I'm right-handed.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, thanks, bro. Okay, so look, you gotta get this in here. Yep. There you go. Yeah, look at this. All right. Wait. Yeah, look at this. It's cool, man. Here you go, dude. Love you, buddy. Good job, man. Have a good day at school, dude. Alright. Alright, so again, the NASDAQ started to pop up a little bit. We got the Q moving up a little bit. It's at 423.40s. We'll see what happens here. Any stock market news coming after the open? Probably not. There's not really any economic reports today at all, I don't think. I really think there's like nothing coming out today. Economic data's been light. It's in that slow lulling period of time where we just don't have any economic reports coming out. Yeah, nothing. We got U.S. leading indicator in a couple minutes. We built up a cushion on the day, though, so we got a cushion. Wednesday is when the economic reports start. We got the Bank of Canada rate decision, manufacturing and services, PMI. Thursday, we've got GDP data, the ECB rate decision, jobless claims numbers, durable good orders, and a bunch of other stuff. The ECB press conference, new home sales, all that good stuff. Friday, we have the PCE inflation index. Big economic report. That's actually what the Fed, Jerome Powell, uses to gauge inflation as well. So that's actually what the Fed uses. Yeah, that's not really a big report. I mean, I could put that out. First time I seen a dad call his son dude. Oh, I call everybody dude, bro. Bruh. You know, I'm from Louisiana. And so I do think it's kind of like a Louisiana thing. Like, I've heard a lot of Louisiana dads call their son bruh. Like, hey, bruh, come here. You know, or hey, dude, come here. Like, I think it is very much like a Southern thing. Maybe it's just like a Louisiana thing. But I call my son dude, bro. Bruh. Mostly bruh, like, hey, bruh, come here. I don't know if it's like a slang thing in the South or what it is, but Amazon pushing up a little bit. So Amazon bouncing up. We'll see if it holds. NASDAQ bouncing up a little bit. We'll see what the Q does here, too. Yeah, we'll see. I wonder how AMD's gonna do. My dad does it too. He's from New Orleans. I call my dog Bubba. Like Bruce. Bruce's nickname is Bubba. Amazon pushing up a little bit. Look at Amazon rip. We got the Q up on both charts. Y'all gotta do better than that. Correct me here a little bit, team. Amazon up to 157s. 157s. Hey, what's up, Carlos? Hey, good morning, dude. All right, guys, we got 30 seconds here. 30 seconds. All right, here's the opening bell, team. And ding, ding, ding. There's the opening bell. Let's see what the market does. Boeing still pulling back a little bit at the opening bell. Amazon falling down some here. The Nasdaq's ripping up some here as well. We'll see if it holds. Nasdaq with a big pop. Amazon with a big dip. All right, the Q testing that 200 EMA volume weighted average price level, but Amazon is dipping down some here. Part of me wants to short. I'm going to short this. Very risky position here. We've got a $300 cushion on the day, so I'm just seeing if they reject this level. All right, big flush down. All right, big flush. Let's see if we hold. There we go. All right, so we just made like 130 bucks real quick just now. Mostly from attacking this 200 EMA volume weighted average price level that you can see on the chart right here. So if you look at this chart all the way on the right side, you can see that 200 EMA volume weighted average price level. Sometimes we're going to get at least a small mini rejection based off of that, just because like they're two big milestone levels. Like the volume weighted average price is a milestone level, has a lot of traders watching it. The 200 EMA is a milestone level, has a lot of traders watching it. And so if you just kind of sit around and wait for pullbacks to those levels, you can get some really nice rejections, some really nice bounces off of them. If we break over this specific level, a lot of the time it can act as support, since we are now clearing a milestone level like this on the chart. And so you can see the Q ripping back over. We might look for a little mini pullback to see if that holds or what happens on this front as well. So you can see the Q ripping well over this. We'll look for a little mini pullback, a little mini dip. What's Tesla doing? Tesla falling heavy at the opening bell. Again, in anticipation of earnings. Boeing pushing up nicely here. So Boeing's making a fight. So again, now that we've broken over the 200 EMA volume weighted average price level on the Q, we'll look for a dip now to it. Got to be patient and kind of wait for it to set up. All right, so look at this big rip over the 200 EMA volume weighted average price. Again, we're going to wait for a pullback here. Amazon has now dumped under those two levels. Boeing is pulling back a little bit. Tesla falling down this morning as well. I think we got to look at like Apple also. Apple ripping up over 193s here. So Apple looks very strong on the day too. All right, so we got that little pullback zone here. We could have bought the dip, but we just didn't have time. We've had we've had 4 green candles since the opening bell here. Boeing still bouncing. Amazon's weak. Tesla's weak. Apple's strong. Apple's the most heavily weighted stock in the S&P, so you just got to remember that. All right, so now we're going to start looking for red action here. We had this big, again, we've got this big green move. We're going to look to piggyback off of this big green move and look for a small red candle or two. We have to be patient and wait. If not, we're buying into like extension, I would say. And so again, you can see the Q is now over the 200 EMA VWAP level, VWAP volume weighted average price level. We got to wait for a red candle here. Look for a little dip. We could probably buy into this. Here we go. All right, so we just made a quick little 120 bucks. You can see how we wait for that little red pullback. Very quick. Scalp it on the way up. You know, here's the P&L today. We're up like 500 bucks or so. We'll wait for another one. Again, and part of the strength is like, okay, well, we broke over a milestone level. And so, again, you can kind of see the Q breaking over this 200 EMA volume weighted average price level. When that happens, there's a little bit more support underneath us. Like, I think that makes sense. Hey, nice, Jay. Yeah, Disney. Ooh, man, I'm in Disney right now. I didn't realize how much Disney was ripping up today. Disney just broke highs. You'd love to see it. I'm going to go ahead and take some profit on this. You'd love to see it. We'll go ahead and take a little bit more off. Lock it in. Scalping Disney at the highs. Cut a lot of that position here. And there we go. We're still moving up. A lot of green action this morning here. Oh, we're nicely green in our portfolio today, too. I don't know what this is from. Why am I so green today? Tesla specifically, I think, is back up somehow. Disney. Delta Airlines. Citigroup, Chewy, all green. Apple, very green as well. Is Tesla ripping back up? I see it on my portfolio here. Amazon's looking weak. Yeah, Tesla all the way back up green on the day. You'd love to see it. We'll see if it holds. Let me put some music back up here. We took a lot of our Tesla off because we can. Alright, so here's a nice little pullback on the Q. Again, we're pulling back to that 200 EMA volume weighted average price level. It's two big milestone levels on a chart. We'll look to add to this and take our swing. We got two contracts now. Because we're pulling back to this milestone level here. We got to give it some room. I don't mind taking a large risk here. As long as we can get a decent bounce spot here. We're pulling back to that level. Luckily, we've got a $500 cushion on the day, which we're going to need now because this is just a huge pullback. Now we're bouncing back up. See, I don't know what to do with this. I guess we'll hold it, but I'm going to cut half of this just to protect the trade. We're still green on the day. I don't want to give too much of it back, and if we fight our way back up, we'll be a little bit better. We'll still be nicely green on the day. You can see the Q pulling back to that 200 EMA VWAP level here. So we are pulling back right to that level. Let's see if we hold and support. Hold and bounce off of the support level. Alright, now we're back up to flat on this trade. That's good. We're going to add to this, see if we can fix it here. We got a cushion on the day, so we can add to it. Yeah, I'm adding at the 200 EMA VWAP level. I'd love to see it hold here. And again, we don't mind taking a risk. We already have like $300-400 cushion on the day, so we're kind of flat here even if we got out here and lost. We'd be kind of break even on the day. We built up the cushion in pre-market. Maybe I'm just getting better at trading pre-market. But all right, now we're moving back up. Let's see if we can get over the VWAP here. AMD dropping? Is it really? What's Nvidia doing? I know Nvidia is important as well. We took most off of Disney here, so we got out of Disney. Nvidia is pretty flat on the day too. Maybe the market's just waiting for the economic reports to come out later this week. I don't like this big upwick here. I don't like this selling pressure showing up. I'm going to cut half of this as well. There's too much pressure showing up on the chart. Hey, baby. How you doing? Here. All right, we ended up losing on that trade, got out. We're not down too much, though. We're down a couple hundred on the day. Luckily, we took our swing into the opening bell. Market's starting to fade. NVIDIA's really choppy. So a lot of the green action we face, I mean, we're still breaking lifetime highs. So again, the Q lifetime high is now 424.70s. If you look at a longer term chart, 424.70s. The SPY still broke lifetime highs as well. It is actually a little bit better. So the SPY looking much better than like the NASDAQ here for sure. Like here's the SPY. So the SPY looking very strong. Look at the SPY right at a lifetime high. So the SPY looking very strong. The NASDAQ, so tech is really what's giving it all back today though. So tech is looking really weak. What happened to that trading view charting I had here? Let me find it. Yeah, so here's the NASDAQ. Let's see what tech does. The SPY very strong though, looking like a bull flag. Let's see if Tesla holds support here. Yeah, the E-mini is looking much stronger than the NASDAQ, which is interesting. Yeah, it's all good, Justin. It's a tough day for me too, bro. It's all good, man. Y'all stay safe in this market for sure. Yeah, weird day in the NASDAQ. I'm guessing just because all these lifetime high breaks and stuff, but I don't know, man. Yeah, NASDAQ flushing down. Yeah, I'm probably just going to go ahead and close it down, guys. I don't see much else that I like. It's kind of a weird market, and so we'll come back and trade again tomorrow. The first half of this week is very slow, so we'll probably start the stream off a little bit later tomorrow. And again, if you haven't already, check out Top Step. If you want to try day trading with less risk, you're probably going to lose if you put up money yourself in day trading. Everybody always tries it. They think they're going to be some outlier. A lot of the time, marketing makes people think they're just about to get rich. But again, there's no PDT rule in futures, and you don't need 25K to do it. The futures market, I can essentially day trade the NASDAQ, the QQQ price action. I can trade the SPY price action, what's called the E-mini. No PDT rule. I can day trade short, all that good stuff. No PDT rule. And Top Step's the most legit futures funded program in the world. They pay out millions, fund thousands a year. A great way to learn day trading. Just taking the challenge, build your skill. And if you're good enough to pass it, great. You can get a 90% split, so you're keeping most of your profit once you're funded anyway, similar to putting the money up yourself. But if you lose, like most day traders do, you're going to lose much less. And so if you want to check it out, here's the link. They are a sponsor. I'm incredibly biased in their favor. You can check out the link there. You can check out my other sponsor, a company called Chart Prime. It's a trading view service you can use in stocks, Forex, futures. Genuinely impressive here. Here's chart prime on the S&P 500 today. Look at how accurate the strong signals are. So if you just kind of sit around and wait for the strong signals, this is a 5-minute chart on the E-mini. Like, look how powerful this could be. If you just sit around waiting for the strong signals. Strong signal, beautiful bounce for hours. 3 hours of bullish action. Strong signal here, beautiful bounce. Strong signal here, beautiful bounce. Strong signal here. You had huge days of bullish action. Again, let's go out forward. So that's like, every one of them worked here. Look at the strong signal here, beautiful bounce. And then you also got a strong signal like maybe 20 minutes ago as well. So genuinely impressive. You can use this on anything with a symbol on TradingView. Great way to help support your boy here in this channel as well. I'll put this link up also if you want to check out Chart Prime. And yeah, we're just going to get out of here. It's a slow day. We don't have any much economic data coming out today. We do have some earnings this week though, so be ready for that. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Y'all be good, guys. We'll see you guys later.